Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Monday, the 24th of April. Good to have you aboard. We, of course, are a Blue Wire podcast, presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. None of this is possible without Anidjar and Levine jumping on board from the get-go. Anidjar and Levine, they're taking care of you. God forbid you're in any kind of accident. They take care of you. They take care of me. That's why they're the title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0. Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. What a start to the week. What a weekend. We got a lot to catch up on. First things first, I was on the Levine show today. That's right. Did the local hour at the brand new studio downtown Miami in the Elster Hotel. I don't know what that place is. My first time ever there. Whatever. It was nice. Great looking studios. Brand new, fresh digs. Sat in with those guys for an hour this morning. So you can check out my Twitter feed at ZASLOW Show. You can always hit me up there. And on my Instagram, where of course I'm an influencer, at ZASLOWJ. You can go check that out as well on the Levine Show Twitter feed. And of course, you should go listen wherever you get your podcasts, just like you get ZASLOW Show 2.0 everywhere you get your podcasts. Levine Show, they got their podcast everywhere also. So wherever you get my podcast, however you're listening to this, you go on over to Levine Show, listen to the local hour. I sat in with those guys, what was it, like 45, 50 minutes, something like that. And of course, YouTube, you go to the YouTube channel, and I'm sure it'll be posted up there right soon. So go ahead, check that out. Had a lot of fun with those guys. We talked a lot about the Heat, of course. We're going to do that here. We talked a lot about the Panthers, of course. We're going to do that here. So go check that out. Obviously appreciate those guys. Love sitting in with them. And I'd like you guys to go watch it as well. The reaction that I've already gotten from some of the clips, like I don't even think it's out yet, which by the way, I have a couple apologies. My first apology is while you're listening to ZASLOW Show 2.0 right now, the show is dropping a little bit later today than it normally does. That's because I did the Levine show this morning. And for fuck's sake, I mean, the traffic to downtown Miami, my God, that is not fun. But anyway, that's why we're out a little bit later today. That's apology number one. Apology number two, I'll get to in a second. But go check out Levine show. Really appreciate those guys letting me hang out with them. And the reaction that you guys gave last time, and even the reaction that I've gotten so far just from a couple clips. You guys are super supportive, and I love it. So, and make sure you tell all your friends and your family about ZASLOW Show 2.0, of course. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment. You do all that other good stuff. So, a whole lot to catch up on from this weekend. Miami Heat, Game 4 tonight. This is a monster. If we were doing big game or not a big game, Heat, Bucks, I don't do spoiler, but that'd be a big game right there. We got a big one here tonight. They're calling it Kaseya Center this week. That's the home of Game 4 tonight, where the Heat have a chance to break out the buzzsaw, take that ass, and take a 3-1 series lead over the Bucks. That's what that's what I'm talking about. Tonight's a big game. So that's what we got going on here tonight. Got to talk about Heat and Panthers a lot today. I'm very upset about the Panthers, predictably. My second apology, though. I didn't do a show on Friday. Although I told you guys on Thursday we weren't going to do a show on Friday. Apologize for no show Friday. I was in New York over the weekend. I was in New York for a couple of days from Thursday to Saturday. I had some business to take care of. I was doing some work over there. Your boy did a little bit of it's like I was a broadcasting consultant over the weekend, all right? So I was helping someone train for a broadcast, actually for the Knicks broadcast, Knicks and Cavaliers Game 3. That's why I was up there. So that was a lot of fun over the weekend. Did a little bit of work there. And while I was in Brooklyn, so I didn't do the show on Friday, but while I was there, I got done with my work on Thursday in time to pull a Ticket Ninja move and go to Nets Sixers Game 3. Now, that series is over. I'm not saying it's over because, like, one team's up 3-0. No, it's actually over. That series is over. The Sixers, they swept them. They finished it off on Saturday. And, of course, We have our full weekend NBA playoff rundown coming up today, brought to us as always by Brunt Insurance every Monday. So we'll get back to that. But I decided, you know what? I'm finishing work early. I was staying in Brooklyn. So I was a 8-minute walk from Barclays Center. Let's go to the game. Let's pull a Ticket Ninja move here. So here's what I did. I'm in my hotel room and I'm monitoring the ticket situation. I'm refreshing StubHub. The closer we get to tip-off, I feel like I'll be able to get a good... I'm going by myself. I just need a single. And I want a lower level. I'll sit anywhere in the lower level. Like 7:29. So like it says 7:30. That's when the game starts. But everybody knows technically it was like 7:40. So this is right before tip-off. And I'm like, all right, I think this is as good as it's going to get. And I found a really good price. At least what I think was a really good price. I was sitting behind the basket, lower level, 12 rows up. Great seats. Walked my ass on down to the arena. Got there at the very end of the first quarter. I don't need to get there on time. I don't give a shit about the Nets, you know? I just want to sit down. I'll enjoy the game. I don't care what I can miss the start. So I got there at the end of the first quarter. And I said on Twitter that this was the first time I'd ever been to a playoff game in any sport that did not involve one of my teams. I then realized that is not true. I think it was probably 2001, but it was when I was at UCF, and I used to go to some Magic games. I went to a Magic Milwaukee Bucks first-round playoff game. I think it was 2001. Magic won the game. I think maybe they tied the series or cut the series lead to 2-1 at that point. I don't. That detail is not important. I don't remember that. But I did go to a Magic Bucks playoff game. I think it was probably 2001. It'd be pretty easy to look up when they played them in the first round. But anyway, so that wasn't entirely accurate. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed being at a high-stakes game with none of the anxiety. Just sitting there watching the game, got a drink in hand, just enjoying myself. That was fun. I do wonder, though. Now, I didn't care because this is not my city. Nobody knows me, whatever. But I did wonder. Like, the people around me, they all obviously knew I'm there by myself. Like, they look at me like I'm a loser? Is it like, I'm at a playoff game, so they think, now, it's not like I was cheering for either side, although, if anything, I wanted the Nets to win because you wanted to extend the series, make it a long series, and, I don't know, it's just more fun when everybody's cheering. So, like, I definitely wanted the Nets to win. And, you know, F the Sixers. But, do people around me, they definitely see that I'm by myself? Are they thinking, wow, this guy's a loser? So, that I was wondering. Now, I didn't care. Because, again, it's not my city. Who the hell cares? I have nothing to be embarrassed about. But is that... I don't think it's quite the same thing as, like, when you go to the movies by yourself. I think it's totally acceptable to go to the movies by yourself. If you've never gone to a movie by yourself, try it. It's great. You got nothing to do. I mean, you'd be sitting on your couch in your living room watching a movie. Why can't you go to the movie and watch it? It's not like you talk during the movie. Going to a movie by yourself is awesome. But I don't know if I'd ever been to a sporting event. No, that's not true. I definitely have. But is that like a loser move? You go to, and this is a playoff game. Is that a loser move going by yourself? Now, my circumstance, I was from out of town. I was on my own. So if you know the backstory, it's not a loser move. It was actually a really fun thing to do. But people were just seeing someone by themselves at the playoff game. Like, oh, that guy's a loser. What's his deal? I don't know. Hit me up at ZASLOW Show. Let me know if you've ever done that before, if that's a loser move. So, Barclays Center. I've been to Barclays Center before. I've been there twice. I saw Pearl Jam there twice. And we're going to get to Pearl Jam in a second here. Been to Pearl Jam twice at Barclays Center. Back in, like, 2013, maybe, if that sounds about right. Something like that. And I'd never seen a basketball game there. Really cool arena. Dig it. Like, you walk in. First of all, you love it. You're in you can walk around. Now, it's not like there's stuff to do right outside there. It's like neighborhoods and stuff. But it's totally easy to walk to Barclays Center. And, of course, the train lets you out right in front of Barclays Center. Super convenient. Which, by the way, like, it was a great game. And my friend sent me a text message after. It was like, hey, did you stay the whole game? And I said, Yeah, but besides it was a great game, there's no reason to leave early. There's no traffic. Now, there is traffic, but you're taking the subway or you're walking it. Like, there's no traffic. That was a pleasure, not having to think about leaving early. It's not going to be any traffic situation. It's all good. I just walk my ass back to the hotel. But the arena's very cool. I love the food there. Good selection. The whiskey was flowing. But that is a Buster fan base. Like, I don't know any other way to put it. That's a Buster fan base. The place is packed. Like, not an empty seat. Totally jam-packed. But they don't get loud. They don't, like, there's no let's go Nets. There's no defense. There's hardly any cheering. They'll cheer after a big basket. But, like, no one stands up. No one. I stood up at one point. There was, like, a huge sequence early in the fourth quarter. I stood up because something awesome was about to happen. No one stands up. You know, I hate the Nets, and I'm a better Nets fan than most of those people who were at the game. I'll stand up. I got excited over a couple plays. No one else stands. No one gets pumped up. Buster fan base, Buster crowd. But really cool arena. Great game. You know, that was a game where Embiid, Nick Claxton, he kicks him. Claxton gets thrown out later in the game. Harden got thrown out for a nut check on, who was it, Royce O'Neal? Stunned that he got thrown out. Knew it was going to be upgraded to flagrant 1 easily. Stunned that he got thrown out with a flagrant 2. But anyway, really cool. I had a good time in Brooklyn. That's really what I had going on over the weekend. One other thing I got to bring up as far as the weekend goes. So, over the weekend, Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam announced 23 tour. It's only 9 cities. Not convenient cities. It's like the Midwest. They're playing 2 shows everywhere except for 1 city. They're playing 1 show in Indianapolis. The others, 2 shows in Minnesota, Chicago, Austin, Texas, and Fort Worth, Texas. 9 total shows, not convenient. I did put in for 1 show. I go every tour. And for this one, specifically, my plan is I want to take both my boys. Now, for every Pearl Jam show I go to now, I'm always going to take my older son. He's seen 2 shows now with me. The last 2 I've been to, I think, right? I want to take both boys now, and they both want to go. Now, that's going to be a little bit difficult because you can only get the 10 club seats through Pearl Jam, 2 tickets. They don't allow you to order 3. You can order 1 or you can order 2. So I put in for 2. Now, there's more, you know, the ticket allotment is not enough for as many requests as they're going to get. Now, if I win the lottery, essentially, and get tickets for the show that I requested, then I'll have really good seats because my seniority is pretty good. So winning the show is random. But then once you've won the show, your seat location is based on seniority, and I'm pretty set there. I've had membership, and my membership number's not even that great, but I've had the membership since like 99. So that's not bad. That's not bad. The problem is, so if I get the tickets, okay, I gotta find a way to get a third. So I can sneak my younger son 2-hour seats. You do ticket trick. I got all the ticket tricks. I do ticket ninja moves, and this is also called the ticket trick. And that's when you don't have enough tickets for the seats you have, so you sneak someone in. That's called ticket trick, never fails. And it's so easy electronically, too. I mean, come on. I'll forward one of the tickets to my son on his phone. Me and my younger son, we go through one entrance. My other son, he goes through another entrance. They never know. It's foolproof. That's called the ticket trick. Always works. So, we're finding out today if you won the Pearl Jam 10 Club lottery. So, everybody, if you would really quickly, you say a quick prayer to Hashem. You ask, oh, pretty please, Hashem, I love you so much. Can ZASLOW win tickets for a Pearl Jam in Fort Worth, Texas? That's where I put Fort Worth, Texas. That's where we put in the tickets. We're going to try and go to 1, not even 2. We're going to try and go to 1 of the shows in Fort Worth, Texas. It's in September. Hashtag blessed. Everybody, put in up, prayers up. Prayers up. All right. Hopefully that works out. Prayers up. So let's get down to business here, right? First, I want to tell you guys, watching the games over this weekend, a lot of NBA playoff action, NHL Stanley Cup playoff action as well in the ZASLOW Mansion family room. And how am I enjoying those games? You guys know how I'm enjoying those games. I got a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba right there in my fridge. I open up the fridge. Of course, I got a couple Johnnies left. Johnny Cuba, European roots with a Caribbean soul, a refreshing German lager in a can. Keep sending me the first time you guys are trying Johnny Cuba. Send me a picture or the video. I love posting on my Instagram. My man Juan, he loves when I post those on Instagram as well. Don't forget about that Johnny Cuba Picante hot sauce. You know what? I put it on everything. I love it. Johnny Cuba, that's how we're going to roll tonight, right? During the Heat game, pick up a 6-pack right now at your local Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie, Fresco y Mas. Always drink responsibly. It's so easy. When you're watching the game at home, that's responsible. You got your 6-pack of Johnny Cuba. You're enjoying the game. And don't forget Johnny Cuba's mantra, of course, stay tranquilo. So, we all know how it ended up going down at the end of last week. I didn't win the poll question that Sheets and Giggles, great sponsor Sheets and Giggles. I didn't win the poll question that Sheets and Giggles put out, but they said, you know what? F it. My man Colin said, ZASLOW, we're sending you and your boy. That's how it's done. You're going to game. I want to send you to game 3. I'm like, hell yeah, Colin, I love you so much. Thank you, man. So we went to game 3 Saturday night, courtesy of Sheets and Giggles. Right now, go to sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW and then use the promo code HEAT upon checkout. I think you're getting 25% off if you use that. So all throughout this remaining playoff run, sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT. Boom. 25% off, I think it is, you're getting when you use that promo code when you check out. So go check that out. And, of course, we love Sheets and Giggles, one of our best sponsors here on ZASLOW Show 2.0. So they sent us to, Colin, he sent us to Game 3, Heat Bucks. And I was tired as hell, too, because that morning, my son had playoffs early afternoon that Saturday for his soccer league. They had playoffs. They won 3-2, come from behind. The only lead of the game they took with just a few minutes remaining in the game. So shout out there, Weston Select U14 boys winning their quarterfinal matchup this weekend down in Hialeah against Miami Vipers. Great game, great finish. They're moving on to the semifinals. That's going to be in a couple of weeks. But that morning, I had the 4 a.m. wake-up call. 4 a.m. wake-up call, took the 6 a.m. flight out of LaGuardia to get back home in time for my son's soccer match. And then we had the Heat game at night. But I had all the energy. When you got the Heat, a series tied 1-1, you stole the home court advantage. See, this is why, for everybody who is, you see what happened? Game 2 rolls around. Even without Giannis, the Bucks, they kicked the Heat's ass. This is not a series. Win the game by 3, win the game by 100. It doesn't matter. You get to game 3, and it was buzzsaw time. The Heat took that ass all night long. Who cares how much you win by in game 2? The Heat lead the series 2-1 and got a chance to put a stranglehold to suck the life out of the Bucks here tonight. You're going to find out about this Heat team tonight. That's right. You're going to find out about this Heat team tonight. If they got the guts, you win this game tonight. You take advantage of the scenario in front of you, the opportunity presented. I don't care if Giannis is playing. It looks like he's going to play tonight, which I'm surprised. We were talking about it on the Levine show this morning, and everyone was like, I think he's really hurt. I don't know that we're going to see him again this series. It appears that he's going to play. He was a limited participant in practice yesterday. This morning, he participated in shoot-around. I'll tell you what, though. Homeboy who works for ESPN, I guess he's covering the series, and he put out a video on Twitter on his account. Giannis warming up here, shoot-around. The video, it's Giannis on the free throw line, barely hitting the front rim. And then the rebound comes back to him, and he puts up a hook shot, and it's short about 4 feet. It's a Giannis dirty. That's the video you're putting out? All right. So it looks like Giannis is playing tonight. Don't care. Ton of pressure on the Bucks. A lot of pressure on the Heat, too. Let's be honest. But let's talk about game 3 for a moment. That shit was so much fun. Great atmosphere. That's a playoff crowd, not that bullshit you saw in Brooklyn. That's a playoff crowd. And just from the get-go, unfortunately, this is the way the league is, right? If you make your threes, you win the game. The Heat made their threes in game 1. They win by double figures. That's also why you have so many double-figure games now in the NBA playoffs. It's because of the three-pointer. You make your threes, the Heat win game 1. The Bucks made the threes in game 2. They win. The Heat made the threes in game 3. The Heat win. And that's been the key for the Heat these 4 years. The Heat have been the same team these last 4 years, but the difference maker is the three. In 2020, the Heat were the best three-point shooting team. They got to the finals. In 21, they were not a good three-point shooting team. Swept out of the first round. 22, great three-point shooting team. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics fans' butts were so tight when that ball was up in the air, Jimmy Butler. This year, terrible three-point shooting team. 8 seed. Well, guess what? The Heat so far, I think, have been the best three-point shooting team in the playoffs so far, and they lead the number 1 seed Bucks 2-1. Now, I know this is not the same Bucks team without Giannis, but that's still a championship roster. You know, we were talking about this on the Levine show today, where Dan is like incredulous that Barkley said Hero is a bigger loss for the Heat than Giannis is for the Bucks. I agree. And Barkley specifically made the point that it's relative to the teams they play for, and it's based on this series, not moving forward. The Bucks minus Giannis, that's a championship roster. Now, obviously, they're not a championship team without Giannis, but that's a championship roster. And the Bucks without Giannis, they could still win a series. Depends on who they play. You know, like the 8 seed. But the Heat, who don't look like a championship roster when healthy, if they lose a guy like Hero, it's potentially a devastating blow. So, I totally get what Barkley's, you could agree or disagree, but I totally agree with Barkley's premise there. Now, the Heat, they may prove him wrong. Tonight, the Heat take that ass. All of a sudden, they're up 3-1. Now, things happened in game 3 that you're not going to get tonight. Number 1, the Victor Oladipo injury obviously sucks. Now, the Heat have, I mean, you'll probably get more time from Duncan. You may see Haywood Highsmith. Not that those are guys who replicate what Oladipo does, but you got guys who are able to step in and I believe contribute. I'd like to see Haywood Highsmith. A good defender. He's a scrappy guy. I like Haywood Highsmith. And especially now, if Giannis is going to be back, Bam will guard Giannis. You're going to need someone like Highsmith out there to help Jimmy when it comes to defending Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. I think Highsmith's a guy you got to play tonight with Oladipo out. I do. So anyway, you lose Oladipo. It sucks with the injuries, man, Oladipo and Hero. You lose Oladipo. I think Oladipo's career's over. I know he's already said he plans on returning. He's going to miss all of next year now because of the timing of this injury. I think his career's over. It sucks. You know I like him. And can you count on Robinson, who has been AWOL really for the last couple of years? Can you count on Robinson having that type of game again? Well, look, Robinson, here's what I would say. Robinson did nothing in game 2 when given the opportunity. Coach Spo took him back out of the starting lineup, inserted Kevin Love there. That looked to be a great move. Love spread the floor a little bit, hit the three-point shots. I like the veteran presence. I like when Kevin Love's out there. I do. And you're going to see him again tonight with Bam switching over to Giannis. You're going to need Love against Brook Lopez. I like Love being out there. You got nothing from Robinson game 2. You got a great performance in game 3, 20 off the bench. Is he going to give you 5 or 6 again? I wouldn't be so quick to say no. They're at home tonight. I would now, okay, it's going to be 5, 6 again, but I feel like I wouldn't be so quick to say he's not going to be able to give you another good performance. He's had big games in the NBA Finals. I'm not as down on Duncan Robinson as most are. I absolutely think he could give you a performance like that again. Not exactly 5 for 6, but can Robinson go 4 for 8 tonight? Why not? Absolutely. Now, Lowry was great on Saturday. Zaslow, you hate Lowry. Give him some credit. Lowry was great Saturday night. But you can't expect him to do that again. Lowry gave you 33 in that play-in game against Atlanta. Then he was nowhere to be found against Chicago and nowhere to be found in the first 2 games of this series. So, in 4 games from Saturday, you could expect something from Lowry again. Until then, nothing. So I don't think you're going to get that type of performance from Lowry again. But Jimmy's a different animal in the playoffs. It'd be nice if you get one game here where Gabe Vincent, can he give you 14, 16 points? Because, look, this is why he's Gabe Vincent. And it's not a knock, but he's a role player. If you can get something closer, anything like the Gabe Vincent you got game 1. He was awesome in game 1. And you would think, hey, a guy like Gabe Vincent, he's going to be much better at home than on the road. Well, he's been good on the road this series. Gave you nothing in game 3. So you know what? Good. Gave you nothing in game 3 when the Heat took that ass. Get Brick City out of the way. Let's get back to knocking down shots. So I'm looking forward to what Gabe Vincent can possibly bring them tonight. But we all know what is going to be the deciding factor tonight, right? We know this, right? Bam Adebayo. He's what it's about tonight. Now, Bam had a very good second half of game 1. Did nothing in the first half. I was mother effing him at halftime of that game. And has been almost a no-show. Games 2 and 3. Not good. Tonight needs to be a major effort offensively from Bam Adebayo. That 15-foot jumper, look it right in the eye, knock it down immediately. And what, Brook Lopez? You got to knock down, you got to take and make that jumper all night long. Get aggressive, get to the free throw line, draw fouls on Lopez, draw fouls on Giannis. Tonight, Bam, look, the Bam you got a couple months before the All-Star break, the month and a half, that's the guy we need to see tonight. That guy was super aggressive, night in and night out. That guy looked like a star who was taking the next step. That Bam, pre-All-Star break, is the guy you need tonight to take a 3-1 series lead. The Heat do not take a 3. Look, I know the Heat won game 3 without Bam having a good offensive performance. The Heat do not win tonight if Bam is not great on both ends of the floor. Playoff Jimmy is not enough to take a 3-1 lead against Milwaukee. This has to be a signature caliber game from Bam Adebayo. Has to be. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Heat have to win tonight. We all understand the stakes. Because realistically, I believe, all right, can the Heat win one of the next 2 games? Because and the reason I set it up like this is, if the Heat win one of the next 2 games, they have a closeout game 6 in Miami. So can you win one of the next 2 games? The Heat have won at home. They've won on the road. I do believe the Heat can win one of the next 2 games. So theoretically, that would mean that the Heat don't have to win tonight to be able to play a closeout game 6. Now, the great thing is, no matter what happens tonight, the Heat are going to have game 6 with an opportunity to, worst case scenario, no matter what happens these next couple games, worst case scenario, the Heat have game 6 at home to force game 7. That's worst case scenario. But you are present for a season, and this is what we've been waiting for, right? The Heat have missed opportunities all year long. They missed an opportunity, the game against Atlanta, to get the 7 seed and not have to face Milwaukee in the first round. They missed an opportunity in game 2, no Giannis, to go up 2-0. The Heat missed opportunities all throughout the regular season. Will they be the team that they've been all year long and miss an opportunity tonight? Or are they going to be the team that we've been waiting for all year long tonight? That's a big question. That's what we're staring at right in the face tonight. Are the Heat going to be the team that they've been all season, blowing opportunities? Or are we finally going to get that moment? You know, this regular season was not fun. You didn't have a whole lot of good moments. Are we finally getting that moment tonight? Because a Heat win tonight at home to go up 3-1, that makes up for everything throughout the season. It does. It makes up for how frustrating this whole season has been if we get that moment tonight. Yo, I'm ready for it. Man, I'm ready for it. Stakes high, baby. That's what we got tonight. Bam, let's do it, son. Need a signature game from Bam Adebayo tonight. Really bad weather again the last couple of days here. What is the weather, man? Hey, if you're noticing there's a water leak in your home or business, luckily you're listening to me right now because I'm telling you exactly what to do with that. You call Water Cleanup of Florida right away. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida, fully licensed, insured, certified to provide the one-stop shopping that busy homeowners and business owners require. No need to bring in other contractors. They're going to handle the entire project from start to finish. The weather's been terrible. If you have some damage to your home, if you got a leak's going to turn into mold. You got to take care of it before that. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635, serving the entire Tri-County area. Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach. Call or text them. Hey, you can follow them on social media as well, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure if you don't believe me when I tell you that Water Cleanup of Florida is the best around, just check out their more than 80 5-star reviews on Google. Water Cleanup of Florida, WCUFL.com, 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida, we clean up your schmutz. So, and thanks again, Sheets and Giggles. Go to sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code HEAT, 25% off. Thanks again to our pals at Sheets and Giggles. My man Colin sending us to Game 3. He even offered yesterday, you want to go to Panthers Game 4? My son had a basketball game. It wasn't going to end in time for me to get to the arena. That's my dog right there, Colin. So again, thanks to Sheets and Giggles. Support the sponsors who support the show. That makes the whole thing go round. Sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. So before we get to the Panthers here, I want to get to a ton of NBA playoff action. Let me gather some steam before we get to the Panthers, which is really upsetting. Let's get to our NBA weekend playoff rundown. That's what I'm talking about. Our NBA weekend playoff rundown. Every Monday, our NBA rundown is brought to us by Brunt Insurance. I mean, look, I already told you about what's going on, damage to your home. You got to make sure you got a good insurance. Make sure you don't have to pay for everything out of pocket, right? You don't want to have to do that. Well, Brunt Insurance, they got you covered. They've been having me covered for almost the last 10 years. Since 2013, Brunt Insurance and Financial Services, they have specialized in your home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance. If you don't own your home, renter's insurance, condo insurance. Do you need flood insurance? Oh, you don't know about flood insurance? Call 954-589-2204. Let Greg Brunt and his team at Brunt Insurance sort it all out for you. You tell them what kind of home you're in. They're going to tell you exactly what you need. Now, it depends on where you live as well. From Pensacola all the way to the Keys and beyond. Brunt Insurance, they fully licensed staff. They know the area you're calling from. I already told you, they got the entire state covered. The market's confusing. Don't just go out there all willy-nilly and pick some random insurance company. No. 954-589-2204, bruntinsurance.com. They have our NBA rundown for us. Let's do it. So real quick here, let's go over Saturday. I told you I was at Game 3. Nets and Sixers, great game. And on Saturday, the Nets could not stave off elimination. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my vitamin water, lemonade flavor. Joel Embiid, he was held out of Game 4. He's got a knee strain or what have you. It's like he wasn't suspended, considering the Draymond suspension. And in the same game, by the way, considering that Harden got thrown out with the flagrant 2. Anyway, Philadelphia beat Brooklyn 96-88 on Saturday. They sweep the series. Phoenix, how about this? So Phoenix goes up 3-1. Remember, it looked like Phoenix was in trouble. They lost Game 1 at home. Kawhi had the great game, 38. Game 2, Phoenix is down double figures late in the second. They bounce back second half. They win at home. And then they win both games at the Clippers. They now lead 3-1. And Kawhi Leonard, you got to be kidding. He is, I mean, how can anyone believe that Kawhi Leonard gives a shit about basketball? He doesn't even try. He's not going to go out there and try to play Game 3. He's not going to try to play Game 4. He never plays. I mean, today's NBA player, and Kawhi Leonard may as well be the poster child. He got a lot of balls asking for hundreds of millions of dollars and then not playing. Kawhi Leonard, and you know this when you sign Kawhi Leonard, he's only going to play like half the games. So why do you have to pay Kawhi Leonard the max? Shouldn't he get half the max then? He's only going to play half the games. You know this. You know, he sat out that last year in San Antonio. You had his teammates, Tony Parker specifically. Popovich wasn't pleased. They said what they said about him. Just sat out the end in San Antonio. Didn't play. Trade to Toronto the final year of that contract. He plays the whole playoffs. Win a championship. Oh, well, you know, he wanted the big contract. And he wanted it from his hometown team in LA. So, wow, guess what? He played, and they won the championship. Well, since then, he never plays. The first year in LA, missed playoff games. The next year, missed the whole season. The next year after that, played like the first couple playoff games, missed the rest. Now this year, he's done again. Played the first 2 games. Now he's missed the last 2. He's not going to play Game 5, which I think is tomorrow. He is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Terrible. Definitely does not care about playing basketball. Doesn't even try. It's like the same thing with Zion, where I'm not going to go out there, you know, unless I feel 100% like Zion. Part of being a superstar is playing, and playing well, when you're not 100%. When your surroundings, when the scenario around you is not perfect. That's part of being a star, is coming through when the circumstances are less than ideal. And that's not Kawhi Leonard. I'm sorry, it's so gutless. It really is. Don't even try to go out there. It's so gutless. But hey, he'll cash that check right quick. The Lakers, they beat Memphis. That's a big story too. Everybody knows that. Lakers beat Memphis on Saturday, 111-101. So that series is now 2-1 Lakers. LeBron and Dylan Brooks, that's the big thing, right? Dylan Brooks, he's an old man. I don't respect you until you score 40 on me. I don't care about LeBron. And then for Dylan Brooks to have what I think is an all-time loser game, to talk all that, to do all that talking, and not only to have the dog shit game that he had. Like, it's one thing to do all the talking and you don't show up, but you're not a guy who scored. Like, he's throwing up bricks. He shot them out of the game in the first half. He was terrible. And they're down like 45-9 at one point. And then he gets thrown out of the game and then refuses to talk to the media after the game. That is an all-time loser performance from Dylan Brooks. That's a loser performance. And the Memphis Grizzlies, as a whole, that's a buster team. They went from like last year, 2 years ago, really likable team, grind city, although they're not the OG grind city, but like surprise team, working hard, Ja super exciting, to now Ja with the guns and his stupidity, and now Dylan Brooks with all the talking, all-time loser game. This team talks so much, and now when they're up against it, get smacked around. But Dylan Brooks, all-time loser performance, Game 3 against the Lakers. So we get to Sunday, and the Knicks, with a major opportunity, just like the Heat, to take a 3-1 lead on your home floor. The Knicks, the Lakers, and the Heat are the only 3 teams in the first round with this opportunity to take a 3-1 lead. We'll see if the Lakers can do it. We'll see tonight if the Heat can do it. The Knicks did it. The Knicks, they really beat up the Cavaliers, both games 3 and 4. They win yesterday, 102-93. They take a 3-1 series lead. Here's Jalen Brunson post-game.
Jalen and Josh, what's your message to the rest of your teammates in terms of being so close to moving on, but focusing on the task at hand?
Exactly that. It's not over. Not even close to being over. We gotta continue to just keep focusing on one day at a time. And there's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to be truly happy about. So obviously, we won tonight. We're one step closer, but we gotta continue to have that same mindset mentality that we have over the past couple games.
Look, Jalen Brunson is legit one of the all-time great New York Knicks free agent signings. No other way to look at it. And let me tell you something. I'm rooting for the Knicks. I'm rooting for the Knicks. Number one, shit's more interesting when the Knicks are good. Number two, can you imagine a Heat-Knicks second-round matchup out of nowhere? Oh, come on. You want to talk about Heat-Knicks when both teams are good? That's my drugs. Give me Heat-Knicks in the second round. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that would be so good. So, yes, I am rooting for the Knicks right now. They're up 3-1, and Game 5, of course, in Cleveland. Okay. Yesterday as well, you had Boston take a 3-1 series lead over Atlanta, 129-121. DeJounte Murray acting a fool after the game, bumps the referee, shouts something in his ear, 100% going to be suspended for game number 5. Can't do that. And you know what? Hey, you're listening to the show right now. You're listening in the future. You may already know. You're like, yo, ZASLOW, DeJounte Murray is suspended. Well, you're listening to this in the future. I'm in the past. You know things that I don't know. You have certain information that I don't have just yet. So if DeJounte Murray is suspended, and I'm not talking about it right now, that's because you're listening right now in the future. You have more information than I do. DeJounte Murray, a lock to be suspended for Game 5. That series will end in Game 5. Yesterday, the Golden State Warriors, by the hair on their chinny chin chin, escape San Francisco 2-2 against Sacramento. It's 126-121 with under a minute to go. Steph Curry calls timeout as he was trapped. No, you don't have any more timeouts, Steph. Almost an all-time blunder, because if they didn't hang on, you go down 3-1, they're going to lose this series. And as legendary a career Steph Curry has had, people will remember that when they were the reigning champions, they lost the series because Steph Curry called a timeout they didn't have, while blowing a 5-point lead in the final minutes. So they hit the free throw 126-122. The technical foul also makes it a turnover because you used an excessive timeout. Kings hit a three, 126-125. Then Steph Curry, a little bit early in the shot clock, but he still had to get a shot off, misses. Kings ball, chance to win it.
Hunting Curry. He's got Curry on the switch. Fox over to Barnes for the lead. And that's it. The Warriors survive.
Oh, you thought it was going in. Everybody thought it was going in. If that goes in, it's a forever blunder on Steph Curry's resume. It doesn't take away from the player he is, but it gets remembered forever. So he survives that shame. The Warriors survive 2-2. That is easily the best series in the first round so far, Kings and Warriors. And finally, the Denver Nuggets, they had a chance to sweep Minnesota. They go to overtime. The Nuggets, Jokic misses 1 or 2 free throws. It would have won the game. Instead, it goes to overtime. And in overtime, just seconds remaining, the Wolves have the ball up by 1.
Edwards Gordon defends on a switch, crossover, three. He got it!
Yeah, he's awesome. I think he had 34 points, Anthony Edwards. He said he took it personal, so they avoid the sweep. Only one sweep in the first round. It was Philadelphia over Brooklyn, so they're resting, they're chilling. NBA player loves to rest, and Denver now is going to have to close it out in Game 5 on their home floor. And that right there is your NBA weekend playoff rundown, courtesy, as always, by Brunt Insurance. BruntInsurance.com, 954-589-2204.